and welcome to the playoffs. Greyhound Cup wildcard weekend is here, and I'm joined once again by Mono. Hey, Mono, how's life been treating you?
How are you, Inchin?
I'm doing pretty good. Definitely looking forward to getting in. We're done with group stages. This is do or die. We got two teams here that we've seen throughout. We've actually been able to cover both these teams twice throughout the group stages. STB joined with PI, joint team between those two, and then one AD who actually we saw last time having a great match. But we are going to be starting here shortly. Let's go ahead. You guys know about these teams. You know what they're going to talk. Let's talk a little bit about the Greyhound Cup. We now posted up there. You see the standings. Earlier, you actually had 501st and OC battling each other for the rights to play 1/16th PZD, which has been undefeated. There's a second team that's been undefeated through this Greyhound Cup, and that's 82nd AD. And the winner of this match will be moving on into that semifinal match against 82nd. Mono, from just the standings here, is there anything that kind of stands out to you as far as where we're at right now? Teams maybe doing a little better, maybe not performing what they did previously?
I think no, I think it's kind of what we expected. I want to see both of these teams are, I think, pretty evenly matched. So I think it's going to be an interesting game, and I also really like the map. So
well,
I think we're in for a good match.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and transition right over to that map conversation. And if there's a map to be played on a competitive scene, it's either Sainte Marie du Mont or Sainte Marie Église. And today we're on Sainte Marie Église. So the basic layout here, you're going to have allies coming in from the right side of the map or the east, Germans coming in from the west side. So as you can see here, STB&PI will be coming in from the east, and 101st will be coming over the west. And let's just quickly run down these middle points here. Starting, I think this is the one, and I know Bono and I both in the pregame were talking about Hospice. I think Hospice is such a great point. Actually, all three of these. And talking about some of the importance here, and A, we kind of got two A's in there, but really this middle point right there, if you're able to secure that, you're able to have so much control around the point. Mono, you pointed out earlier about a great garrison location that kind of influences the A up there.
Yeah, I think this garrison location by the Germans right there it can be really strong if the team commits to it and you start pouring in. There's some cover that you have from the wheat field, which is all this this entire area.
Yep.
And you can really go into that those A houses that we have marked in and try and secure those houses pretty easily from that location.
And both those houses are 3 stories, but that's not all you need to be able to control this point. Another point that you need is really this kind of B sector right here, and really kind of that southeastern area, because it allows you freedom of mobility to move around. Finally, the last kind of, if you had to prioritize area C up here, I call this the pizza slice. Right up there, great hedgerows. You're able to get, kind of a little mini fortress up there. And if you do hold it from the German perspective, you control all this open field here to allow them to stop. Really great for tanks, armor, combined things. And then finally, D, this is going to be a big point. If the Germans do get pushed back, how well are they able to actually control this south side and then come up? It's a little bit risky, though, because you're out of active sector for too long. You can open up. It will really depend on what that second point layout is. Let's go ahead and move down to Sainte Marie Église, which the real kind of church point right there. It's all about the church. The church is right in the strong point. There's satchels are going to be one of the key ones happening around there.
I hope we see some satchel action.
Oh, it's going to be key. You just love seeing it. And it was a great addition because previously, before satchels, it was pretty hard to get any sticky defenders out of that church. But really, a lot of this point, I think, favors the Allies' approach with key terrain and specifically approaches towards the church in there. Areas around here in B, good cover, good concealment on their approaches back. And then the whole southern sector of C allows you to control a lot of those fields. D is marked up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually actually made a video on this very map yesterday, so check that out if you want. It's on my channel. I talked about the Germans. I love this D part. I love the
Mhm.
D.
You love the
Uh,
D?
yeah,
That's a
and
quote you may regret saying. But yeah, no, you're exactly right.
uh,
The arrows you're drawing right now, you know, the ways to pinch the church,
yeah,
because you
those
don't do
two
it from a
pinches
direct
are my
assault.
no. Those two movements are my go-to whenever I'm assaulting the church. Securing that area through C and into B. There's a lot of cover. Like you can decently get across here with no problem, without much harassment. And the northern part of the church is just awesome. It's really good to launch attacks into church from. If you secure this, you're like right there. You can go run, get some smoke, get a satchel in, and boom, church is done. So
Yep,
those two angles of attack for me are just. I hope we see them get used because they are really really strong.
correct. But church by itself defaults to allies. I think hospice up north, because of the truck spawn, defaults to Germans. Let's finally go to the last point that we can see here, which is going to be checkpoint. And I think this is probably one of the most balanced middle points in the entire game. Granted, the transport truck does spawn for the Germans in the bottom left, so they could
Yeah.
get an early advantage, but it's a relatively straight shot for the supply truck from the Allies to be able to get down there, get a garrison. So it rounds up being a really good fight. Not to mention, a lot of this point where we kind of talked in on the other points being, you know, hey, here specifically in the strong point. Yes, I mean, I've got to, you got to control the buildings in there, but really, this one is more about map control on checkpoint than as far as getting into the strong point. Specifically,
Yeah.
I'm highlighting that 3-story up there at B. Mono, what do you got for checkpoint here?
Yeah, you said it was balanced. I think the Germans do have the advantage of having way more cover around this area than the Allies do here. There's a big trench line all around here
Yep.
and here. Those 2 points are the ones the Allied usually use to attack. The wheat field you marked is it's all right. You know, you can do like kind of that or something. But really control of that B house is pretty crucial. You can
Yep.
get some good line of sights into A from there, and securing D as well. Maybe launching attacks from this point onwards for the allies is super important.
Well,
But yeah, checkpoint is one of the tougher points I think
I like
in
D.
this map.
I like Sector D in there because it allows you to quickly get right into the top of the strong point, get into the barn, and influence a 3-story. And that 3-story is on the ally side. Regardless, this is probably one of the most balanced competitive matches there are. And there's going to be a couple things that are kind of our keys to success to winning this one. Let's go ahead and dive into it because a couple of those areas highlight a few things. One, control the key buildings and lines of movement or freedom of movement. This map with both all the checkpoints, the middle points, both the top and north, it's all about that movement. You talked about the canals, being able to move around. Coordination between infantry and tanks is going to be huge. And finally, smart garrison placement. You talked about that northern garrison on that German side. These are going to be the key things. And in fact, we're actually jumping right now into the match. Both teams are ready. We're going to be kicking this off on St. Mary and Glace. So switching now. Enchon, I myself will be following STDB&PI. And Mono will be on 1AD. And here we go. So we are into the match here. And we got St. Marie Iglesia right in the middle, but all the other points actually up on the northern side there. So let's go ahead and do a little flyover here. Coming from the Allied side, you got Lesvier. If you're back that point for STB and PI, it's bad things. Artillery battery, which is another great point to fight over. Key buildings, 3 stories, a lot of movement, some open fields, cornfields, wheat fields that are key to control. But we're right back. The main area here being St. Marie Glaze. We're going to see which teams are able to get in their trucks, get those spawns up as quick as possible. going over to the German side. If they lose Church, they could be going over there to route to Harass. A lot of open fields. This is where really your armor and infantry combining is going to have to be key. And then finally, flak position. Go ahead.
STB now on the Allied side, they have a garrison truck, a support truck with 2 squad leaders ready to go to San Marie to set up a garrison. They are going to set up a garrison on that B area. Everyone else seems to be waiting with their spawns. They do have another truck loaded with a few, with a squad, and also another support truck with an engineer ready to roll out into San Marie. That is going to be the middle point for this fight. And I'm glad to see that we don't have a straight line on the other points. We do have the top both on both sides.
And Mono, go ahead and do me a favor. Switch over to 1AD side. And we'll go ahead and as I cover here on the middle point, we're looking right now at St. Marie Glaze from overhead, waiting for both teams to join in for us. We talked about that supply truck coming from STB&PI being supported by armor. Transport truck, interesting enough, actually going far down south. A little bit of a split force here. Remember, this is doing a quick look. We are at actually STB&PI 37-34, a little unbalanced to start off. Artillery, though, clutch for 1AD, takes down the supply truck, takes down the one guy put in there. So right now, that's about as good of an open you can get from 1AD. Let's go ahead.
Wow, that is
yeah,
that is a really, really good shot. That's gonna seriously trip them up on as they move forward to try and cap that church. They don't. I wonder how they're gonna respond to that.
Yeah, that's well, and the transport truck went down south, which is interesting call with how much these northern points are. Meanwhile, 1AD is now transport truck is moving in, dropping off individuals. We talked about that D sector. You have the Germans moving in from there. Cap progress about 30% of the way towards 1AD, and this is about as good of open you can get from 1AD. The first minutes of any match are just crucial.
Yeah, for something strange going on with 1AD. They haven't yet put a garrison on the border. Now they have, but it seems like they got here with a transport truck.
Yep.
And just spread out, so they are going to take some time. I don't think they're going to be able to capitalize on that supply truck destruction at the beginning of the match just as much as they should have.
Well, granted they are in the church, and anytime as the Germans you're able to control the church, that's a win. So yeah, right now we look at the southern area. You got Basman, Binky coming down here. Pineapple, Fake Meinster going to be connected through there. Binky connects on the first kill. This is going to be a clean engagement happening. We are north looking south. Yep. Wow, 1AD connecting on 2 shots. Pile's not able to connect us. Well, he actually just does. So a 2-on-2 is down to a 1v1. Bassman's going to go ahead and float back out. Looking at the cap pressure, St. Marie Glaze has switched to 1AD, but a significant amount of STB&PI individuals now securing those key positions.
Yeah, we can see 1AD, they are trying to fight over that northern side that we talked about earlier against STDB. Seems like we have some major fighting going on both sides, both north and south of the church. Church, not really the focus now for 1AD. I don't like. They only have Chow and a Killer Cake there securing church, so not a whole lot of people. I wonder if they know that they need to flank around and take care of the actual enemy's spawn point.
And remember, this is a 35-35 right now, so map control is key. Not allowing those little kind of squirter elements or recon elements to go around. Oh, Tom just destroys Maddock on the hop there. And it actually, talking about the church, we're noticing STB&PI now coming in from the south side. No cap progress yet for 180, or sorry, for STB&PI. but no one is able to be inside the church here as Dusseldorf, Black Swain, and Oberst Klink are gonna walk in and say a prayer, hoping they get enough cap progress on the outside.
We have a Lux going in to church now. It's getting really close now. I wonder what this guy's gonna do. I don't know where the allied tanks are. Do you have any idea what they're doing?
Allied tank, we actually got one going around wide behind St. Marie, recon down south, and then a heavy tank. So that was a medium, recon, and a heavy. So basically east, west, and south the pressure on. But even though that STB&PI has the church, they don't have the map control right. Of the active sector. They got a lot of guys going on the north side. Actually, let's see who this possible hero is. Alice in Wonderland around the STB&PI world. As a support player, he's possibly rocking that Car 98. Let's see what he's able to do.
Good position for the Lux. Yeah, there we go. There we go. He needs to start blasting church. He needs to start blasting all around, making sure, you know, to harass the enemy as much as possible.
Ooh.
But obviously, he's going to try not to get too exposed.
Yep. So STB&PI is inside the church, controlling it. Meanwhile, as you said, 1AD actually focusing outside the church, which is so far working out to him. But a few shots that don't connect as more and more people put into that strong point, get the ×3 cap pressure.
Lux is out.
The Lux just got taken out.
Yeah, we have a Sherman came in from behind.
Yeah,
they are now spotting it, and STB is making a real push for that northern side of the church. Seems like that's what they want to control and be able to push from there. They do have a full squad against also a full squad from 1AD fighting it off here in the northern side.
Yep, and speaking of cap pressure, STB&PI with the 3 people inside there, Para, who is part of the Pro Bowl on there representing Pyrel, is inside the church. We're going to see one guy start to try to go through the middle. Para quickly takes him down. Cap progress approaching 1/3 complete towards STB&PI. And like you said, you know, the key call out there from 1AD, getting everybody outside the church, which would have been fine if they were able to kind of clear one sector or not, but those fights just not happening. Black Swan's going to be catching up here against Buzzard. Actually, Buzzard's able to connect. Sure, Para's calling it out.
Oh,
Buzzard's...
we have a Tiger that's just run into that Sherman that took out the Lux. I'm not sure if the... Yeah, he saw him. He saw him.
Para's reacting to Buzzard. Buzzard's going on top here. Dussel's waiting for that shot. Oh, Buzzard takes him out. Only one STB&PI is left. It's Buzzard's gonna be able to clear this out. Both gonna beat each other. Oh, the reload and Para takes it. But did that stop the cap? Yep, it was enough to stop the cap pressure with taking out 2 or 3 individuals inside the circle. Meanwhile, we talked about, you know, how futile it is to try to attack the church from the front. 2 1AD members go down, and they really don't have any option because they're not able to control that northeast and south part of the church. So STB&PI is going to be able to... Let's go ahead and switch over to Mono.
Yeah, this was a really bad move by the Tiger. Sherman went all around here while the Tiger was trying to chase them. Obviously, the Tiger is going to be slower, and Sherman managed to get around him and get a shot on his side. But thankfully, Paul here managed to take the Sherman out. But really bad communication from 1AD here. They had infantry on the ground. The Tiger didn't seem to understand what the hell was going on. So their tank game, again, needs to step up, I think. They've already lost pretty much all the tanks that they had. They are down to that Tiger.
Correct. So we just saw another assault from 1AD try to go in from the non-optimal angle and quickly get chopped down. Bombing run's coming in. It's going to take out one individual. Meanwhile, all 3 of those STB&PI individuals, because they control that eastern side was able to get back into the church. Buzzard's great work is now reduced. We do see a 2-on-4 here. Mansua takes it down. In fact, this is a great spawn from 1AD if they're able to get into the point. And Mono, what are you noticing on your side over here?
1AD here, extremely strong on this northern side of the map. They've already repelled the attacking STDB&PI that have a garrison on the top left there of the screen. Oh, bombing run coming in. That's not gonna do much though. But they are securing that area. Seems like the STB has an outpost right here. They just spawned.
Yep.
So let's see if Buzz is able to find that outpost and destroy it. He must have heard him. There we go. He's waiting for Maddock to peek. Come on, Maddock. There you go.
Oh, I was gonna say, Maddock almost pulled that one out.
Yeah. But
so
yeah, they have to keep pushing here and try and take them out to keep the pressure off here. That's a nice move by Buzz. Is he gonna get? Yeah, he's down.
Yeah, Buzz been able to do a good amount. Let's go ahead. So point is just about to be taken. Let's go ahead and review a little bit of how this point was taken with my greatest thing that I love in commentary, my John Madden pen. So I'll actually pull this out. So from STDB&PI, we talked about those key sectors. This area right up here being one of them, and then everything down south. And the reason why these two is we saw this time again, even after Buzz did that, it allows the mobility and movement into there, and holding this area covers all this. They're actually able to block this out. And we saw this kind of multiple times. Once 1AD focused so heavily on the north there with their spawn, I think STB&PI was happy letting them have it. Remember, that was Sector D from our earlier strat sketch. And they really focused on these 2 points, which now is going to allow them to set up for further attacks coming out of it. So really real great job.
Side-by-side map comparison, because right now I think 1AD is in kind of a bad position. They only have two garrisons, one on route and one on this crossroad area. They have lost their attack garrison. They're getting pushed over there by the squad from STDB.
Well, and speaking of attack garrisons, STDB was able to get a red zone garrison up on the backside, which this one is just deadly. If they're able to get that and take route, couple squads put in their OPs, also using a defensive airhead, and this is a good little trick here. We'll go ahead and switch over as here. Using a defensive airhead to get an extra spawn. Interesting move. I like it. Not all airheads are offensive. So Mono's going to go ahead and be watching the battle over there at route. I'm going to be keeping over here on church as 1AD still has an attack force trying up on that northern side. That's not quite cleared out yet. Mono switching over to you on the attack. STB&PI.
Yeah, this is the garrison. It's obviously blocked right now because of that Panther moving around. I wonder, is he gonna see it and destroy it? He must have seen it already. He's moving in. That's gonna be the
Yeah, he'll get another shot. He'll get another shot.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't get another shot. Paul there. Was that Paul? What was that? Or was that a landmine? No, that wasn't Paul, because Paul is 1AD. I don't understand what happened. I guess it was a landmine or two, or maybe a satchel charge. I don't know. That was.
Well, look at this now.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Fortune changes. We're getting some cap progress on St. Maria Glace over here at 1AD, moving in from the southern point with a full squad of 6, and that northern element of that never quite got cleared out is doing just enough to harass. Cap progress has stalled as STB&PI consolidated inside the church, but this squad on the south side, 5-man squad now, being led by, who's our squad leader here? Fopa, my favorite name to say in this entire Greyhound Cup. See if Fopa's able to move into some of his guys. Meanwhile, we actually got one guy squeezing in now from the right. Binky.
Speaking of harass, route to harass is now under STDB control completely. That garrison that the Panther failed to destroy. They spawn in there. You can see there's, 7 guys running in. A full squad coming in from the side. Only Paul Hub is here to defend with the Panther that's gonna get taken out any second now. This is gonna fall, and we're gonna see... This might be game over in the next few minutes, because that garrison is gonna allow STDB to push on the next point really quickly.
Yeah, but
That's right on the border, so anyone can start capping, and they already have a presence there, in fact.
Yeah, but the battle, I just switched over to flak here. You actually see STB&PI already one inside the trench system. Now 1AD realizing how bad of a situation they could be in is starting to react. We got Big L and Kate going to be meeting each other close up. Big L is going to go ahead and take him down there with the Thompson. One commander time on it, looking to react. Let's see if Big L's able to connect. It's going to go ahead and get supported by Para on the MG. Remember, once the cap... Once this cap...
The defense for harass is okay, now they capped, and they are capping flag position already, dude.
Which is huge, because that immediately takes down that headquarters spawn. 2 individuals inside the strong point. More guys coming over into the active sector. Time's going to be looking to come over the top. Let's see if he's able to connect. Gets Para. Actually jumps on Big L. Oh, that was... Well, you know,
I'm gonna call it right now. This is gonna be over in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, not even. I think we're down. Let's go ahead and take an instant replay as time possibly gets the opportunity there. Able to connect on Para. Great one to take down, but misses the second one. Hard to see there. So we are at just about 19 minutes into the match, and why the opening move was all 1AD. STB&PI, calm, cool, collective, able to control the key areas of the map, got down a cheeky red zone garrison that now between the because Flak and Route are so close together, yeah, this one's over.
Yeah, it is. They are spawning the entire team on the mid HQ, and they are just running towards the point, while STDB is in full control of flag position. So this is going to be over real fast.
Yep. But you know this is the wild cards.
Yeah, they are getting some allied armor into the point already. They had Lux going on. They lost 1AD lost all their armor extremely fast this game.
Yep. I actually want to highlight what STB&PI is doing. They're going to meet 1AD at the border, slow them down. They're not waiting for them to come to the strong point. Actually, Merrick might be able to go, and it's over. There it is.
Yep. Wow, that was a really bad performance by 1AD. They managed to cap the church, but as soon as they lost it, STDB was ready with an attack garrison, and that's game over. That was fast.
Let's go ahead and look at a couple of our highlights here. We're going to go ahead and looking at the structure here. You remember 35v35, not seeing a lot of full squads from STB&PI. We'll wait for this. Click through my admin cam experience here. All right, a little tank commander experience. Yeah, I mean, 1AD obviously prepared for the match, got that artillery strike right on there. But I mean, looking at some of this combat efficiency, looks like they were running 3 armor for the most part for STB&PI, which is clutch. Looking at a little bit of 1AD, obviously some guys starting to head out a little early. FOPA, not necessarily some of the great things we've seen about FOPA. A little bit of underperformance. I'm sure he's going to want this one back a little bit. Bosman, we saw him with some great plays inside the church there. Clearing it out, but wasn't able to get down Para. Got him on the reload. So, I mean, there was... let's go ahead and we'll switch off of this one. You know, this one... you know, it's a wild card game. You never really know
it's going to be longer than the actual match.
Yeah, you know, you never really know what you're going to get with a wild card game. There's a reason why you play it. Obviously, STB&PI was favored coming into this one. I want to say the only game that they lost was to the 116th, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think everything went the way the STB&PI wanted after they recovered from that supply truck being blown up. In hindsight, taking that transport on the south side, I was kind of scratching my head from it. Seeing it the way it played out, though, they did prioritize the south side of the church, as we pointed out earlier, with that transport truck. And ultimately, that wound up being successful for them, being able to get into the church, getting those shots around. I'll give it to 1AD, though. There was a lot of the shots that we saw where, 1AD was connecting and staying on gunplay just as much as STV&PI. But, Mono, that red zone garrison.
Yeah. This is, I think, a problem the game has already. If you want to look at a strat sketch for a second.
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to it.
So all of these, all of these zones where you can place a garrison on the border here, top left.
Okay.
Wait. Go to main slide.
All right, we're on main slide now.
Okay. So that garrison, they put it right here. And that's going to enable the attacking team to cap both these sectors extremely fast. Because as soon as this one's down, that one's going to be down. And if the defensive team does not have the foresight to spawn or to try and control from flag outwards, what happened was 1AD was falling back all over the place into route from different angles, but that just enabled STDB to move on from route straight onto flag without having to necessarily engage that force that was coming back to try and take a route. And by the time they did that and they moved already to flag, being so close with that garrison, we're talking about 40 seconds, 1 minute or so, to really start attacking one position. So that's really
you bring up a great
right
point
now.
Because really this game, without it being ticket based, this game is very time based. How much time can you spend in the active sector as opposed to your opponent's uptime being in the active sector, and then obviously the multiplier with the strong point. But yeah, I want to point out other things is, against a lesser opponent, I think 1AD was in a proper position to come back on their counterattack from church. The issue is, as they were coming up from the south side, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of ping it here for orange. As they were coming up on the south side, they with 5 people plus the guys over here on the north. Actually, we'll get to St. Marie Glace. There wasn't enough or quick enough to be able to get inside, get to be able to do. And then once they realized they were behind on the cap race in a competitive environment, you need to redeploy as quick as possible. Yeah. So I think 1AD obviously, would have liked to go further in this seasonal, or not the seasonal, sorry, the Greyhound Cup. But this concludes it for them. They had some great wins. I think this one's going to be a little bittersweet with how quick it was. I definitely think they knew they were the underdog, but wanted to put a better performance on this. But looking forward, STB&PI versus 82nd, man, that's going to be a match.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Do we know what map that's going to be in?
No, so it'll be they do the pick ban. That one will be coming up on the pick ban system. But honestly, I know STB&PI is going to be ranked lower than 82nd, but I think 82nd Gems got their work cut out for them next week. So I like I said, the commentary might be longer than match on this one. So let's go ahead. Mono, do you got any final thoughts before we shut this one down?
No, actually, I'm glad the match was quick because I wanted to take a nap before tonight's stream. So this is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick one. And, I'm just going to go back before we get out of here. The keys to success, talking about, hey, did STB do this? Control the key buildings and lines of movement. I think they did. really from the east, the northeast, and south part of the church. Coordination between armor and infantry. I didn't see as much of this on the STDB side to the point where it was an advantage for them. What I can say, and some of the shots that you saw, I think it was a disadvantage for 1AD that their armor was not around their infantry and was too easily taken out by other infantry.
I think even we like what I saw with the Tiger was a situation where the Tiger had a squad leader that could easily see the Sherman and what the Sherman was doing, and the Tiger couldn't. And that squad leader should have used proximity chat, to communicate to that Tiger, like, "Hey, turn around! Don't chase the Tiger, the Sherman. The Sherman's coming, coming back around." So obviously, coordination between armor and infantry was not something that 1AD really had on this game.
Yep. And then finally, I think, garrison of the game. We talked about the third wing being a smart garrison placement, not always on the strong point. The red zone garrison worked exactly the way it wanted for STDB&PI and really led to the snowball effect happening on the tail end. But that's going to be it for me. Mono, I'm glad we go ahead.
Two final words. I think what we saw here in terms of that backline garrison, that red zone garrison, worked because 1AD didn't really have anyone defending. They had an engineer building strong points, defensives and nodes and stuff, but they didn't really have. And in these 35v35 games, it's obviously not as easy to have a force on defense because you would have to commit like maybe 3 or 4 dudes, which is quite a lot. But you can't really afford not to play defense, right? You have to have people on the defense and attacking because that Garrett, they had seen those supplies go down, they would have been able to block that garrison and prevented anyone from spawning, and it would have been, I'm not going to say a win for 1AD, but not as fast as a defeat, right?
Agreed. So that was that was it. I'm sorry, was that both your points before I wrap us up here?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll be coming. I think. Actually, I'll be out next weekend. We're gonna do a little family camping trip, so that'll be a good time. But best of luck to STB&PI. Also, 82nd AD, stand by. You got some hungry attackers looking to come out at you there. But that's going to be everything for here on the stream. This once again will be posted up on YouTube on Mono's channel. Check out Mono, both YouTube and Twitch. Got his Twitch up and running. Along with, we talked about it earlier, the St. Marie Glace video. I'm sure, Mono, you'll put the quick link of that in the YouTube at the end.
Yeah.
And then check out Hell Let's Talk. Sunday's episode we'll record and post that up on Monday. And for everybody here, we appreciate it. Take care.